Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Real Estate Talk with Lorreta. My name is Lorreta, and I'm extremely passionate about talking to the youth that are currently in the property industry. And today I have a special treat for you. I have the cream of the cream. I have with me Tembisa and Kyle from Libertalia. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi. Thank you, Lorreta. How are you?
Thank you.
I'm all right. I'm excited. I'm extremely excited. I can't wait to pick you guys' brains.
No, thank you so much. And thank you for having us on your show. It's really, what an honor.
Yeah, definitely.
The honor is mine.
Yes.
Okay, so guys, let's get into it. Just let us know a little bit of a background about you guys.
Okay, I'll shoot the shot.
Yeah, take it.
So Libertalia Group is a finance and real estate company. So we're basically an intermediary. We do facilitation for real estate sales, property letting, property valuations, and we also assist with the home loan applications. So essentially, in a nutshell, we're a one-stop shop in the property industry.
Yeah.
It's run by a team we're a team of 20. Kyle and I, Kyle is the managing director, and I'm obviously the group executive. And that's who we are.
Okay, awesome. And so walk us through your journey. How did you actually end up in the property industry? And this question I'm asking specifically in your individual capacity.
Okay,
you start.
So I was privileged so I joined the recruitment industry as a receptionist when I started back then starting out in my career. And so as a receptionist, I received all the vacancies and the documents because it's a recruitment company. So I received all the vacancies and the job opportunities right in front of my desk every Monday morning. And I happened to come across this specific vacancy for a lady who was looking for an intern in the real estate industry. And she's done exceptionally well for herself. So I had the opportunity to be trained by her, and that's how I found myself in the industry. And obviously, as time progressed, I learned a lot of things that made me independent to start my own thing, and this is where we are.
Okay, awesome.
That's great.
And yourself, Kyle?
I think so. Winston and I were teamed up on a previous business venture, and I came on as a kind of a design hand and kind of controlling the advertising and social media management for it. And I saw Libertalia there, and it was starting to flicker a little bit, but it was only Winston, and I really wanted to hop on that boat. So I'd approached him about it. I had hopped on to then take on the branding for Libertalia. And after doing that for a year or so, I thought, well, listen, the best way for me to actually understand more about what it takes to be in the industry. And we had discussions of saying, okay, well, this is where we want to go with it. So the only way that I could actually provide decent input is actually by joining the industry and getting thrown in head first and try get a better understanding of it, and let Winston kind of help guide me through it as well. So I had we did that. I had joined alongside him. We had gotten my FFC, and from that point it became such a passionate thing. I had learned the fundamentals of how to actually canvas and lead generate. I had gone through my trials and tribulations of things that I could improve on, but also things that I can, polish on. So, it became one of those things where it just started as a flicker, and I saw that where we actually wanted to go, being that we want to open our own agency and be a little bit more, I needed to get my feet wet. And the only way I could get my feet wet is by actually joining in. There was no way I could do it from the sidelines and everything. And with Winston's help, within the first 2-3 weeks, I had gotten my first offer done. And then a week after that, I'd gotten another one. So we were onto something. The moment we realized that, we kind of started stepping in the right stepping stones.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. And let me take you back where it started. So why property? Like why when you were thinking about it and you say, listen, okay, I'm going to do it. Why did you choose to actually get into the property industry?
I think for me, it was the research I had done before getting into property. In fact, I was so behind in my thinking before joining the industry. I always assumed that rent is actually, it's an obligation. So for you to have a house and to live in a property. And in terms of owning a property, it required like a certain special individual to own a property. So that was my thinking then, and was backwards thinking at that time until I actually did the research and I found out the benefits of real estate, how people actually retire so early in this industry, how people become over, and I don't promote overnight success, but how people could actually, like Carl said, his first 2 weeks gave him a great commission. How people are actually it's so attainable. You can become a huge success in this industry, and I was very, very much attracted by that, and it gave me enough motivation to step into the industry, and that's how I found myself here.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I think just to add on to that, I think there's the people that succeed at the industry are very similar in their thinking. For those that are in the industry, that what it takes is going to only be put down to me. It's only going to return to me. And for there's a lot of different jobs where people say, well, they don't like their boss telling them something. Real estate, you are in essence your own boss. If you get to decide what your choices are, and what if you aren't getting the results, it's only down to maybe your activities that you're doing, and that's one industry that, knowing that, also gives you the power to achieve so much. You can close more than 12 deals a year. You can close so many deals a month. You can get offers in weekly if you really do know what you're doing. And that's one industry that the hard work actually does pay back directly, and that's stunning to even to be involved in that.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. All right, guys, I'm gonna take you. I think maybe I should have actually asked you this question earlier. So we need to touch on your ages. How old are you guys?
Okay. I'm 24 years old. I've been in the industry for 5 years now.
Okay. Meaning you got in the industry when you were what age? Guys,
So like
help
8.
me. Mathematics.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Carl's 22 now.
22. Yeah. 22.
Yeah. He's been in for about 3 years. So we did start young, but we really started all the way from the bottom. Intern, PA, cold calling, and we know the potential in the industry of how far you can come in terms of your career, and we took those opportunities. And I think age is it might be some of the questions that you asking yourself, how do we deal with the industry, because it's full of the older generation, and how did we manage to pass through all of that, and I promise you, it's not as easy as we're making it seem right now. But I think we adapted to a lot of the training, we adapted to a lot of the situations, and we had to find a solution as to how to reach out to sellers who've ran banks, who've ran huge companies. It's not easy to come as a young individual and getting that person to trust you when they've been in their own industry for many, many years, and they know that experience is what really matters in some of the industries that you get yourself into. So we were faced with situations like that where we had to adapt, we had to use our portfolio to sort of break through those difficulties.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a
so
big one. That's huge.
yeah,
Our age is a big one, especially when, but that plays in our favor because the team that we hope to bring in, we want them to be younger guys. We want them to be the exact same people in our mindset, and the only way we're going to do that is by showing them, excuse me, that it actually is possible. You
yeah,
know, it's just Winston always pulls back and says it, but it goes back to educating people. You know, if someone older comes to us and says, well, listen, we don't actually, we wary about it, that's perfectly fine, but why are you wary about it? Okay, well, let's address the concerns and let's establish a relationship from there. Age, it's almost one of those things where it's a bit verbatim, because what am I going to do, sit around and wait until I'm 25 and then only approach a deal? Well, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the shot and see if I land it, I land it. And then you go from there. So it is, but it's beautiful to see, especially our guys now. We have a lot of young guys on our team. And we also have a lot of old guys, but a lot of young guys look up to us. They look up to us and they come to us for life advice and they come to us for direction. So I definitely think that plays in our favor. Definitely. Age is one of the biggest things.
okay. All right, actually, that was going to be my next question. I wanted to ask you guys, like, how do you deal with older people? Because I know in the property industry, you have the people have they've been in the game maybe like for so many years, like 30 years. So they're saying to you, listen, what do you know? Because ordinarily that's what happens when you're talking to any other person. You're like, I have more experience. You're coming to me and you're saying this to me, and why should I trust you? Because I know you're a little bit younger and you don't have flesh in the game. So have you guys faced any other challenges just besides your age? Has anything else been a challenge for you guys?
Listen, I think there is, you know, I think with age, and this is kind of part of it, but with age, there comes experience and there comes knowledge and there comes almost a situational awareness. You know, this, if you get into a situation, whether it's, you know, you want to broaden your team or you want to, what's the next step? Those are individual situations. Now, the answers typically come with time. They come with time and experience, but if you don't have that, it's kind of difficult to find the answers for that. So for me, it's always just been about how can we position ourselves that we are ready to catch the answer when it comes in. When it comes and it lands at our feet, we know how to actually view it in order for us to actually make a step forward. If we are limited by certain limitations, either set by the AAB or whatever, how can we position ourselves that we can, one, build a team, set out what we need to set out. So in the future, we have done the work now so we can move forward. And that goes alongside with age, that goes alongside experience. So for me, it's just been, how can we position ourselves in order to set ourselves up for the future, establish the right partnerships, talk to the right people, prove to the right people that we are more than capable, you know, setting up systems and running a team. And how can we actually back what we are providing? Because that's the biggest thing. How do we give someone a tagline and then we never follow it? You know, so that's been such a big thing, is positioning and following up.
And I think to add on to what Carl is saying as well is, you know, we have technically taken the fall for a lot of the mistakes that rookies would make when coming into the industry. You know, we've done all sorts of mistakes that have gotten us in just a little bit of trouble, you know, with clients. But we learned from that, and that's where we're sitting on a point of privilege. Every time you know, when we're bringing in a team of young individuals and we're training them on all the mistakes that we've made and how we rectified them. So I think that also gives us, and I guess every challenge comes with an opportunity.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
Yeah,
that's actually good. So let's just discuss how are you guys different from any other company that is actually offering the same services that you guys are?
Okay,
What
so
makes you different? Why
what
you guys? Why
what
should
makes
I
us
come to?
different? Yeah, I don't know if Carl might have a different
I
answer to this, because we
yeah,
sometimes sit and debate about it. Because
yeah,
it's such an interesting, it's a very, very interesting question. So I think, in my opinion, what makes us different is essentially when you look at every estate agency or agent, we all do the same thing. So so Loretta, for example, if you were a buyer and you are shopping around for a house, you'll probably pass down 50 to 100 real estate boards. You're not going to remember
Yeah,
any
yeah.
of those boards. All
yeah,
you care about is that specific house that you want to buy.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's difficult to differentiate yourself in an industry where we're all technically doing the exact same thing. So how we've structured our uniqueness is and it's our business philosophy. You can't improve what you don't know. So we invest a lot in our team. We invest a lot in our internal processes, because
Yeah.
one thing for sure that we do know is a seller will always remember, whether it's a buyer or a seller, they will always remember how they were treated
yeah,
and what service they received. They won't necessarily remember the agency, because there's
Yeah.
literally agencies out there calling the seller, calling the seller. You'll forget which agency you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So essentially, we try to be different in a way where we train our staff to be lions and lionesses, and be unique and offer a great service out there, so that they will always remember them. And remembering them is the key to representing who we are as maybe as a young company, yes, but as a great company with great services to offer.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny because we always go back to the same point. It is purely the service that you provide. It's and agents know this more than anyone. Even towards other agents, agents can be hostile, man. They can be crazy. Everyone can. It's a cutthroat industry. And you know what? That's perfectly fine, and I understand that. But there's no need for that right now, especially in the climate that we're in. So we exactly what Winston said. We provide our staff with a backbone, but also understanding that, listen, hey, we're out here doing what we're doing, and our models are working. We don't need to really chase down someone and threaten them because they are in our area. We welcome you. Come in our area. We can work together. But and that's the sad reality of it. With that experience comes sometimes a little bit of narcissism, and we do get gunned down a little bit. And that's fine. Our models are working, and we don't really need to justify them to people.
Yeah. Okay, so what kind of impact would you guys want to have in the property industry? What kind of impact are you already having?
Yeah, I think most for us, it's mostly, so our vision and mission statements, right, is to empower the African continent, but providing a wealth of services. So to those that are driven by opportunity, change, who are driven by ambition and changing their lives as a whole. And our vision is to be the leading real estate and finance industry. So to achieve that, we need to be a very impactful company. What we try to achieve is to reduce the unemployment rate as much as possible. We want to introduce this is the only industry I know where you do not have to go and study for it. You just get training on it, and then you improve on that, and you build off from the training that you get. It's the only industry where I would say I will not necessarily say it's the easiest, because people have the perception that I don't need a qualification, so I'm going to join the industry. But when they do join the industry, they happen to find how difficult it actually is, especially because it's usually commission based. So we want to change the whole narrative on real estate. whatever negative narrative it has, we want to try and make it positive, and we want to try and reduce the unemployment rates.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's go back. I just thought of something else. Did you guys study any other degrees before you guys got into the real estate industry?
We exploit ourselves, Carl.
Listen, actually, I got a perfect answer for this. We love the idea of education. We really do. And we're always seeking it out, whether it's different books, whether it's taking courses. And that's something we're constantly doing. We are taking courses and we are learning as much as we can. I think it's just, we are always seeking out, courses and learning a little bit more and reading upon top. But no, there's never been, any tertiary education. No.
Okay, no, that's okay too. That's good. Wait, so we understand you guys are the future. I know that everybody else knows that you're the future of real estate. What do you guys actually predict that the real estate industry will be like in let's just say 20 years from now?
20 years from now.
What are your thoughts?
I like that question. We're going to see a lot of the younger generation getting into the industry. It won't be that narrative of it's for older people might change in the next 20 years. And we're going to see a lot of technology as well coming into the industry where it might not necessarily take any job opportunities away, but it might actually allow us to grow as estate agents. And unfortunately, if the estate agents don't keep up with times, they might be left behind, not being able to utilize that specific technology that will come along with it. So technology such as, HD and you just Googles and look at actual property house. So technology coming in with what there we go. Yes. Yeah. So that's where it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in the next 20 years.
Yeah. Hopefully,
have you seen Lorretta? Have you seen the recent post from FNB?
Oh yes, I saw it. That
yes,
how many people can buy property now together? 12 people.
12 people can buy one. So 12 people can apply for one home loan application. Now, that might also change the industry in the next 20 years, looking at the competitive advantage of all the other banks. So we'll now be sitting with a lot. I mean, the bridge hasn't been, the gap hasn't been bridged yet. So we're looking at a lot of people who are going to own properties now, which is great. That will balance the economy in a way. But we are going to see a lot of homeowners coming into play now as well.
Okay. All right, great. So guys, if there's someone who's watching this and it's a young person and they're interested in getting into the property industry, what kind of advice would we actually give them?
I'll give you that one.
I'll say sorry. Listen, I think it was starting off can be extremely difficult, right? If you do not have the right foundations, if you do not have the right mentor, if you don't have the people there in order to move in, because the agencies are very quick to bring you in, and we've heard ourselves that the turnaround rate is extremely high. But the reason for that is there's no like a preview of what you're going to get, right? So we've actually put together a course, right? A 3-day course. For anyone that's interested, we highly recommend taking it because it won't only just show you what the next 3 months of your life's going to look like, but it's going to show you how what it actually means to be a real estate agent. How do you find properties? How do you succeed? How do you all the little information that you seemingly don't get told off the bat. So you're almost blind jumping into this career, not even knowing if you're going to enjoy it. We highly recommend that you do take the course, because that's going to shine a light on everything. And once you've actually taken the course, we do issue a Libertalia certificate. And the beautiful thing about that is you can, even if it's 3-6 months, or maybe even a week after finishing the course, you can come back to us and you can tell us, well, listen, I am ready to join the industry, and we will welcome you on board. We'll bring you on board, and we'll give you a stepping stone to move forward. As well as if you feel like, okay, is there another team that I can join? We will also assist you with that. So that course has been catered from our mistakes, have been catered from people that we've worked with closely, that they had specific questions and how to actually answer that. So this course goes through square one. And the biggest thing was, a lot of people were saying that, you know what, but they don't have any experience. So how do they actually, is this course even for them? Yes, this is exactly what the course is for. If you want to get into the industry and you want to learn from the beginning, and you want to get those habits down to from the beginning on how to actually succeed, what's the canvassing methods you need to keep in mind, then this course is so catered for you. We have a bunch of people that have come through and actually taken the course, and a lot of them have actually received. I know one of our guys have listed over. What was it? It was over 50. Yeah, it was over 9 million rand worth of listings, but he's just getting in listings now. And, it's not even just that makes us happy. That makes us ecstatic, but it's almost like
of course it does.
Yeah, but it's not even for us. I think it's for, because we see him getting happy. And when you're getting feedback from, you invested in a course and now you're actually getting, listings and sales coming in, man, that's what drives you. That's what gives you the passion to move forward, is when you actually see results, and then you come and you share them with the team, and the team is so happy to that you have had that. We don't even care about that it's 9 million, but the fact that you got your first listing and you're ecstatic about it, that the 9 million just comes with it. The work ethic comes with it. So for any of our advice, for anyone that wants to get into the industry, visit libertalia.co.za, or any of our social medias. You can find the links there, and read a little bit more on the course. Go on our website, enroll. It's self-paced, so you can take the course at your pace. It is a 3-day course, but you can take that and pace it as you go throughout your week. So that I think is my main recommendation. What about you, Winston? What do you think?
That was very nicely said. Thanks, Carl. And I think just to sum it up, there's so many opportunities, like I said, when it comes to real estate. Even this is where you learn a lot, even on a personal capacity. Real estate teaches you things like budgeting. It teaches you things like in the industry. So I encourage people like can get yourself involved in this industry. You want to do it part-time, you want to do it full-time, opportunities are there. Obviously, there's terms and conditions to that. Obviously, we're not just getting anyone. If you have a criminal record, unfortunately, we won't be able to assist you. But because that is that's part of the regulation from the EAAB. Even if we hired you and we gladly offered you the opportunity, the EAB wouldn't allow it. And that's our legislation in South Africa. So, but like Carl said, if you are really you want to change your life and you still given the opportunities, get into real estate. It's the best thing you'll ever do.
Yeah, definitely. Just and this is a constant thought I have quite often is, there's a lot of fundamentals that are missing in our generation. So understanding about finance, understanding about housing, inflation, installments, how banks work, as simple things like that. That's missing. In real estate, you aren't specialized in one thing. You aren't specialized in only, oh, I need to sell this house. You need to understand the finance behind it. You need to understand the logistics behind it. So you're almost a jack of all trades. And this is why I think we can do it, and we can look at budgets, and we can look at interest rates, and we can look at investment properties, and we can say, well, is this a good return on investment? Well, this is an industry where we understand the numbers. You are forced to understand the numbers. So there's almost opportunity everywhere, especially in this industry, that you learn so much. You learn about housing, you learn about finance, you learn about personal capacity, you learn about so many things all at once. And it's such a beautiful thing, because you, knowing all of that, you're given the tools in order to succeed forward, and all you have to do is apply them. And that goes back to that first question of, what drew me to it was you have full control. You learn about finance, you learn about all these things, and now you are now brought to like a similar level to someone that really does understand finance, and you can build your information from there. You can build your knowledge from there, and you can go anywhere you want to. The course is basically just designed so you join the industry, and in 3 months you know whether you like it or not. You got your first month, you get leads in. Maybe second month you come in, okay, you're kind of understanding lead generation, you're getting some listings up. Third month, maybe you sign an offer, right? And you only know by the third month whether you like it or not. Like that's kind of the reality. So we wanted to kind of deduct that for people, so they're not wasting their time, but also they're getting a return on their investment. If they want to learn more about it, and they want to actually rather do it in 3 days and 3 months, then they take the course, and then they learn from it, and they understand, well, listen, this is what it's actually going to take, and this is what I'm going to learn from it. But yeah, real estate is such a beautiful industry, especially with the learning capacity. You're learning constantly about leadership, about communication, about finance, about housing. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Nice. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Listen, honestly speaking, and not that I was expecting anything less, but I really am so impressed. To be honest with you, I'm extremely impressed by what you guys are doing, and I wish that there were actually more people like you who are young and who are focused, and they have done their research, they know what they're doing. And I really am so impressed, to be honest.
Thank you so much. Thank you
so much, guys. So we are really,
really
thankful as well.
I want to know, and our viewers want to know, why Libertalia? What does that mean?
Why is this always a question?
That's the most important question, guys.
Every
we
interview.
always get asked this question. But
well,
actually,
yeah.
It links, surprisingly, it links to what we're trying to achieve. So Libertalia is actually, and pronounced different, we've pronounced it differently. But there's actually a name in Madagascar, Libertalia.
Oh.
So the history behind that is there were pirates who came into Madagascar. They sort of took over the place from the king. So it's almost like a Robin Hood story. They took over the treasures and gold and land from the king, and then they left. They took all the treasure, but they left the land behind. And that land was left over to its people, who are peasants, I guess. So it's not, we're not promoting any sort of history behind, peasantry and all of that. But what we're saying is, it goes back to the question you asked me, where do we see real estate in 20 years? Yeah. It's that the progress is starting now. We're seeing a lot of people are brought into opportunities in real estate. A lot of F&B opened a platform where 12 people can now own a property. Yeah. So it links to that story of everyone can have land. So yeah, that's how the name essentially started. It's to really empower the African economy in that way.
That's great. That is absolutely so. Okay, guys. So before you guys leave, is there anything else that you just want to share with our viewers?
I got one. So I think just something to keep aware is, we want to share a lot more information. So we are putting a lot of shift of focus into our YouTube channel, and a lot of information is going to be uploaded on there. So if anyone does want to just drop in and look at some of the new stuff that we're going to be dropping, it's going to be a lot of education, a lot of fun vlogs. It's going to be a lot of kind of day-to-day stuff. But yeah, that's definitely something to keep a lookout on, at least from my perspective. I think there's a lot of tips and tricks that are going to be shared on there. But other than that, if all the announcements and everything's on our socials and on our website, of course.
Yeah, and I think for me it's speaking to our nation, our viewers. I urge sellers and buyers in the real estate market to trust estate agents more. Unfortunately, you do come across estate agents that are still learning and that make mistakes, and it's unfortunate that they make those mistakes on the seller or the buyer's interest. So, however, the sellers and the buyers need to be accountable and responsible for themselves. They need to check if estate agents have fidelity fund certificates. Are they qualified? Do they know what they are talking about? Because then it also affects that does affect the estate agents that is qualified and who does know what they're doing. Because when we approach sellers and they've had a terrible experience with previous agents, it also affects the entire market. It affects the entire property valuation of the market area. So we have sellers listing properties, overvalued properties, because of estate agents who haven't done the necessary training to value properties. So just changing a little bit of, I don't want every seller to assume, or every buyer to assume, that every estate agent is the same. Really, you are dealing with different entities in the industry, so it's their responsibility to just do that market research on their side. But other than that, I would like to speak on behalf of majority of the estate agents that are doing very well. I'm extremely proud, I'm extremely privileged to be associated with you guys, with Lorreta. I'm extremely proud and privileged to learn from you guys as well, as much as you guys are learning from us, irregardless of the age gap. I'm extremely happy in this industry, and I am very blessed to be associated with every one of you. Thank you.
Guys, let's just get one thing clear. Yeah, I'm not that old.
No, you're not. You're not.
Calm down. Wow.
No, you're not.
You know what, guys? This has been such a pleasure. I don't think I don't think I've ever enjoyed an interview like I've enjoyed this one.
Wow.
Wow. That's such a compliment.
Definitely.
Thanks. Get you guys back soon.
Of course.
And we can have more discussions about property. But really
definitely.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming and just discussing property with us.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lorreta.
Really appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Anytime. Anytime.